to make chicken tetrazzini, you have to start with some mushrooms. And I've got some really nice looking mushrooms here that we just want to slice up. Here are button mushrooms. You can use a variety of mushrooms for this dish. Chicken tetrazzini is a casserole, and you know that in general, casseroles are a combination of things that sometimes you just have in your refrigerator. So here are button mushrooms, and I'm also going to use some shiitake mushrooms, which I have right there because a friend of mine this week happened to send me a big basket of mushrooms. So here are the shiitakes, and they have a very woodsy flavor, and you just chop them up into pieces. And along with that, we have some oyster mushrooms. These are oyster mushrooms, and I love them, so I'm going to give them a quick chop. So there are our mushrooms, and now what we're going to do is cook them in some butter. So let me get those in for you. We want to cook these until they're soft. And because this is chicken tetrazzini, polo tetrazzini, we need chicken, obviously. So I just poached some chicken, and here it is. And you can poach chicken just in some water with a little bit of lemon, some spices, some parsley, some onion, or you could do it in some chicken broth. And we just want to cut the chicken up into pieces, bite-sized pieces, just like that. You didn't want to use chicken, you could use turkey. There's our chicken. And with that, we want to have some pasta. You need about a half a pound. Now here we have some spinach pasta. You could also use leftover cooked pasta. You need about 2 cups or so in the casserole. So if you didn't have spaghetti, if you had elbow or you had something else, use that. So you cook about a half a pound of the pasta. And here's our cooked pasta, all ready to go. And you could do this part ahead of time. You could make the pasta ahead of time if you didn't have leftovers, and then you could put the casserole together later on. So I'm going to put this right in here with the chicken, break that up a little bit, and mix the chicken and the pasta, because now we're going to put the mushrooms in here. Okay, let me get my mushrooms because I smell them. All right, the mushrooms are wilting down, so we're going to take them out of that pan and transfer them right here. This is going to make a really big casserole. So now that we have the mushrooms out, we need to make a sauce for the tetrazzini. So we're going to start again with some butter in the pan. So you admire that. Put in the butter. So we want to melt some butter. And we're going to make a roux. And here we have flour. Get that butter melted first before you put the flour in. Flour goes in. Turn that down. And get it pasty. Get it really pasty, so it's not lumpy. And when you get it pasty, well, then you can add some chicken broth to this, or chicken stock. So here we have some chicken stock, and you just gently get that in. And if it looks lumpy when you get it in there, don't worry, it'll all smooth out as you mix it. And now to this, you want to give this a little bit of salt, some pepper, and a nice grinding of nutmeg. This is really great in this dish. There's the nutmeg. And now, just to boost up the flavor a little bit, I give it some lemon juice. So a couple tablespoons of lemon juice will do. And then the last thing we need to add to this, once this thickens a little bit, is some heavy cream. So now I can turn my heat up a little bit. You really got to watch cream sauce because you don't want that to burn initially. All right, now I'll get my heavy cream. If you didn't want to use heavy cream for this, you could use a non-fat half and half. This makes this dish really rich. put the cream in very slowly. So you want to get that well mixed. It's looking great. Okay, now let me get some cheese before we do that. Here's the Parmigiano. You know that's the cow's milk cheese from Emilia-Romagna. I'm going to put a little bit here in the pan and a little bit here with the sauce. And now I can turn this off. Okay, now what I need to do is really mix. Transfer all of this to the pan. And it just fits. And just kind of mix all of that around so it's all nicely coated. Okay, so it's covered now and it goes into the oven. So make sure you do this in a big casserole dish. So your oven is on at 350 degrees. I'm going to bake this about 25 to 35 minutes. At the end, I'm going to take the top off and just let it get a little brown. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? You see how nice and wonderful this looks with the pasta, the mushrooms, the chicken. That'll serve 8 to 10 people.